is Y. So this is called identification. And so what is aggregation? In aggregation, we are counting, that means aggregation. In aggregation, we are counting the number of people or the condition of people who are poor. So if we count the number, we can count by head. So it is called head count. And then head count is not a suitable measure, because suppose this is poverty line, and we say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people are poor, maybe on the line also poor, maybe this 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 8 people are non-poor. So we can say that here head count is 12. Okay, 12 is the head count. So 12 people are with Z is, Y is less than or equal to Z, and 8 people, Y is greater than Z. So this is simple measure of poverty in aggregation. So we can say that in aggregate, 12 people are not poor, and 8 people are non-poor. Okay, in this way we can say. But when we are talking about the poverty, we need to understand that how poor he is. If we know that how poor he is, a head count doesn't work, because suppose that this one is very close to this one is very close to poverty line, that one is far from poverty line. So we are counting all of them with equal weight. Okay, so here this is very near, and maybe on the line there's a person who is poor, but this person and that person are with the same same weight. So head count rate doesn't work when we are taking policy measures of reducing poverty. So we cannot identify them properly. So in that case, we are going for the second measure, which is called poverty gap. It's called poverty gap. Let's go for the next page. So poverty gap will be there. Poverty gap ratio is there, and this ratio is, we can say that poverty gap ratio is 1 by n. N is the number of people, total people, times sum of Z minus Y. Z is the poverty line and Y is the income. And Z I equals 1 to n divided by Z. So this is called poverty gap, and this poverty gap is for poverty gap ratio, PG ratio, which is this, and this poverty gap will make some so suppose this is the poverty line. So if we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people are poor, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 people are out of here. N equals 20. N equals 20, and 12 people are poor. So this poverty gap is measuring actually the average distance from the poverty line. So the distance here from here to there, this is distance, and this is also distance for this person. This distance is for this person. So we can know by this PG, we can know that how deep the poverty is. So it is called depth of poverty. Depth of poverty. But still, this is not sufficient. So we need to know that how severe his poverty is, how severe. So we cannot measure how severe the poverty is, how severe the poverty is. We cannot know from this equation. That means the severity of poverty is called vulnerability. Vulnerability. So in order to find the vulnerability of, severity of poverty, we need to make the squared poverty gap. It's called squared poverty gap, and this squared poverty gap is now called 1 by n and sum of n I equals to n 1 to n z minus y I divided by z. It is squared, then it becomes the squared poverty gap. Now we can say that any person, this is measuring the probability of coming from here to there. Okay, maybe being poor, probability of being non-poor. So this measures is for that how poor he is and what is the poverty, severity of his or her poverty. So if we take the policy, suppose we are taking the policy to reduce poverty. So in order to know who has the higher probability of being poor, we need to understand the higher probability of being poor. Then we need to go for SPG, squared poverty gap. If we need to understand that who are poor with what is the what is the distance from poverty line, or what is the distance of his or her position from the poverty line, we go for PG, and it is measured by this equation. And if we simply count number of poor, we go for the index called, in the first place we have seen that this index is head count ratio. Here we have seen head count ratio. So head count ratio, this one is head count ratio. Head count ratio is nothing. If we add a ratio here, head count ratio is if the number of poor is n0 and the number of population is n, then head count ratio is H. Head count ratio HC is n0 divided by n. Simple head count ratio. Okay. Now, for all this measure, we can generalize by one equation is called P alpha, which is called FGT. P alpha equals 1 by n sum of I equals 1 to n and G star. G star is nothing but the poverty gap, alpha to the power alpha. Okay, so what is G star? G star is equal to Z minus YI divided by Z. So this is G star. And if you put alpha equals 1, you can check. If you put alpha equals 0, that means P0, we get head count ratio, head count. If we put alpha equals 1, we get poverty gap ratio, PGR. And if we put alpha equals 2, we get SPG. We can highlight it when alpha equals 2, we get SPG. When alpha equals 1, we get PGR. SPR, PGR, SPGR is alpha equal to 2, and when alpha equal to 0, we get head count ratio, HCR. Okay, so these are the 3 measures of poverty. We can calculate poverty, who are being poverty, how severe, what is the depth of his of the person's poverty, and how the what is the severity of a particular person's poverty. So in this way we measure poverty. Okay, and so in the handout you will see that there is a numerical example here. You can do with the equation provided here. Okay, so let's move forward. All right, now we are going for basic indicators of development. So our next point is basic indicators of development. We have already learned this in maybe chapter 5, development. Basic indicators of development. What are the basic indicators of development? There are three major indicators. One is called real income. Second one is health, and third one is education. So these are the major indicators of development, and within the set of real income, we have seen in the chapter number 5 that we have gross national income. We learned about gross national product. We learned about net national income in chapter number 5. We also learned about GDP. I'm not going to repeat them. We have also seen how GDP is derived from GNP. What is the difference between GDP and GNP? We have seen this in chapter 5. So nothing is new here. So second indicator is health indicator. In health indicator, we have seen that there are some measurement is called life expectancy. Have you any idea about the indicators called life expectancy?
Yes, the average of the age of most of the people of a country.
Okay, so the average number of years newborn children would live if subject to mortality risk prevailing in the cohort. So it is the average life a newborn can live is maybe in Bangladesh it is 71. So far I know 71 for male and 71.5 or something for female. Okay, so far I remember, or maybe 72.5 if I'm not wrong. And this is the first indicator. Second indicator could be undernourishment. Undernourishment. Which means ensuring, those who are not, deprived of food security. Too little food is maintained for their life, so they are undernourished, and they are measured by maybe wasting BMI. BMI is an indicator, body mass index. We are not going for these indices in detail here because it is not health economics. It is principles of economics. Okay. There are another indicator is called high fertility. High fertility means the birth rate or death rate. Maybe our sub indicators are there. And what about for the third one? Third one is education. Education has some indicators called literacy. Literacy could be an indicator. Dropout rate, school dropout rate could be an indicator. Or enrollment rate could be an indicator, and it could be divided by girls and boys, could be a separate rate. So these are the indicators for education. There are many indicators, but we are not going for in detail for that. Now, all indicators are together is indexed in a development index called Human Development Index. Okay, Human Development Index, and this index is done by UNDP, and it is done for all countries in the world. Okay, so these countries are ranked by this index. Okay, so what is the Human Development Index? Human HDI is simply called HDI, Human Development Index. And this index measures the national socioeconomic development based on combining measures of education, health, and adjusted real income. So these three major indicators are used to make the index called HDI index. Okay. All right. So how we measure? Let us see in the next page. Right. So first we are going to see how dimension indices are developed. So dimension indices are dimension index equals, you see here, actual value minus minimum value divided by maximum value minus minimum value. Okay, mean value, maximum value minus minimum value, mean value, average, actual value minus minimum value, maximum value minus minimum value. When we do this, we are getting dimension index for each of the 1, 2, 3 major indexes. For one is called income, second one is called health, and third one is called education. So these indices are put into dimension index first and then make average. So and this average is nothing but the geometric average, I to the power 1/3 times h to the power 1 by 3, I mean times e to the power 1 by 3. So this is called geometric average. Geometric average is done when we are getting in a dimension index from each of the above indicators. So first you take the example of life expectancy. So life expectancy is taken by minimum value is 20 for any country in the world, and actual value could be there. Suppose here in this example we see that actual value is 64.6 for a country like, which country is there? Ghana is there. So max actual value is 64.6. Minimum value for any country is 20. Then maximum value for this country is 83. So it is the ratio is done 0.701. Okay, so in this way, life expectancy and dimension is done. Okay, then the second one is for which one here? Years of schooling. So this one is for the years of schooling. Years of schooling is done. Minimum value is 0. I mean, for Ghana, the actual value is this minus the maximum value is 13.3 and minimum value is 0 again. So we get 0.527 for life. I mean, school of year of schooling for education, and this one is for life expectancy, which is called health. Okay, this one is, and the third one is for which one? This is for expected number of years schooling. That's it. Okay. All right. So, and there is for income, there is income index, and this income index is taken by in the log form because income is very big. So it is taken as a log to make it index. So this one is log 100 is for minimum value, and actual value is log this one, and minimum value is log 100, and then this maximum value is this, and then it is got this one is for income index. Okay, now finally you see here the example for Ghana, and you will understand what happens there. So as I said that HDI index is computed by geometric average of root over all the dimension index from for income, not root over one cube root, because 3 items are there, cube root, income times health times income times health times education, E. So if we take cube root, then we get the cube root of the dimension index, we get the HDI, Human Development Index. And in this table, there is an example. You check for this how the development HDI index for Ghana is calculated. Maybe in the exam you'll find some value like this, and you have to calculate HDI index for any country like Bangladesh. Okay. All right. So for next, you see that there is a chart for selected countries. So UNDP every year UNDP publish this type of chart for 198 countries. So this table shows only 60 countries and ranked HDI. You see that United States ranked 3 here. Then you see that who is maybe HDI rank. There's no Bangladesh here. Maybe Sri Lanka is there. You see, known country. It is 92. Rank is 92. You see South Korea rank 12. You see here other country, maybe known countries. United Arab Emirates rank 11. China rank 102, something like that. So these are the ranking based on the dimension index, like life expectancy for health, and some other thing. This is for income and expected year of schooling for education. These are all dimension indices, and together they are taken geometric average for HTI index. Okay. Now, because there are heterogeneity of all of the countries all over the world, UNDP or United Nations has set goals, some goals for development. You see that some country is ranking 1, Bangladesh may be ranking 146, South Korea ranked 12 here, China ranked 102. So these are, so these are the ranking, and by this ranking, and United States get 3rd ranking in the world. So this ranking says that heterogeneity is there. Some country is well ahead and other country is behind. So how the lagging behind countries are catching the advanced country in order to catch those, in order to make, so these countries are heterogeneous, right? Heterogeneous means they are different dimensions of development. Heterogeneous. Okay, and the institutions like UNDP or United Nations are trying to make those countries homogeneous. Okay, or so that countries can catch up. Developing countries, DCs can catch up advanced countries, SCs. Okay, so developing countries can catch up the space of advanced country. So for that reason, United Nations set development goals for the country, and these development goals are called sustainable development goal. Rifat Raha raised hand. What is your question?
So you said geometric average is I to the power 1/3, H to the power 1/3, and E to the power 1/3. So geometric average and HDI are similar, right?
So I said that we first developed dimension index. Okay, dimension index. Before indexing, we called dimension index we developed, and these dimension index are health, income, and education. So these are taking different weight. We are not taking the simple average or weighted average like HDI. Previously, HDI takes weighted average of this, and it is not the right way to take the simple average. So they are taken geometric average to maintain the homogeneity among the group. I mean, weighted average is not enough. Simple average is not definitely not enough, and weighted average is not enough to maintain the homogeneity among the dimension indices. So that's why UNDP takes. I mean, previously it was weighted average. Now they are taking the geometric average of them. So it is nothing but the cube root, because 3 items are there, cube root of these 3 items. Okay, so when you take cube root of these items, it is called geometric mean. Okay, geometric mean. Got my answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now for making the countries homogeneous, so UN set up a sustainable development goal called SDG. SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. Why sustainable? Sustainability means for caring future generation. Okay, so in the development process, we are doing many wrong things. Okay, so we are maybe we are I mean emitting carbons in the environment. Maybe we are polluting air, polluting water. So these are non-sustainable. So sustainability, that means we are not caring for future generation. We are only caring for our generation and present time. So when you are taking the future time, that means when you are using resources, carrying the future generation in your thought, then this development process is called sustainable development or green development. Okay, sustainable development or green development. So sustainable development means that we are not thinking about ourselves for developing. That means when we are using resources, we are not extracting the resources to make our life easy. We are going to leave this country for the future generation. When we are doing this, we are in sustainable development. Okay, so sustainable development is caring future generation while we are making our resources usable. Okay, so one of the example of sustainable development is using renewable resources, not fossil fuel too much, because fossil fuel is emitting carbon. So carbon footprint is higher in the economy or in the world when we are using fossil fuel or non-renewable resources. So one of the example of renewable resources is solar energy. So if you use solar energy, we are not using carbon much. So we are making our environment free of pollution. In this way, we can make our development sustainable. Another example could be, suppose there is a factory and the factory emit carbon, and it when carbon emit is there, the CFC gas is there, and it is depleting ozone layer. So it is actually making our planet in danger. So we can use something like, so we can use filter so that no carbon, I mean less amount of carbon is emitted. Or so suppose in the second example, we can say that factories are discharging some waste materials in the river or in the pond, so which affect the fish or which affect the environment of I mean ecological environment. So we need to take care of this so that we can make a sustainable development. Okay, so in this way, development could be sustainable. Okay, so this goal has SDG. I mean, UN set SDGs with 17 target. Okay, 17 target for sustainable development. Sustainable Development has 17 targets, and target number 1 is called no poverty. And the goal, it has a time limit by the year 2030. So we have goal number 1 is related to poverty, as a capability deprivation. So no poverty by year 30. This is goal number 1. Goal number 2 is zero hunger. That means food security is one of the development indicators. Food security, and those who are deprived food or facing malnourishment or lack of nourishment, they are actually food deprived. So capability deprivation is also there. So food security, to ensure food security by the year 2030, UN set a goal for zero hunger. So zero hunger is the second goal that ensure food security, zero hunger. Okay, zero hunger. What is the third goal? Third goal is good health and well-being. So this is health. This area is health deprivation area, capability deprivation. Okay, so health. So ensure good health for all and well-being for all. This is the third goal. Fourth goal is with education. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is related to actually HDI. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth goal is related to HDI. The fourth goal is quality education. So quality education means zero dropout rate, maybe, or increase the number of the rate of enrollment should be higher. That means the goal is by 30 there is free primary school, free primary and secondary education, and secondary education by 2030 is the goal for UN. Okay. Number 5 is gender equality. Okay, gender equality means equity maintained by the gender. Okay, so you see that in the, suppose for example, in education, the enrollment for boys and girls are, in Bangladesh, it was the less number of boys in previous time, less number of boys were there, and high number of less number of girls were there, and high number of boys were there. Nowadays, it becomes equal. So this is the example of Bangladesh has improved in this area. In school enrollment, boys and girls are now equalized, or maybe in some cases, boys are less than girls in terms of enrollment. Okay, primary and secondary school enrollment, because of Bangladesh government has some school stipend for girls students. So this has a huge impact on the girls enrollment, and it becomes the enrollment rate becomes higher for girls than the boys in Bangladesh. Okay, so this is a very good example. Bangladesh is an example for many other countries. Okay, so goal number 6 is clean water and sanitation. So ensuring clean drinking water and the process of sanitation is another goal for a country to develop further. Okay, what is goal number 7? Goal number 7 is affordable and clean energy. Clean energy means the energy, as I mentioned earlier, that the solar energy is a clean energy. Okay, solar energy is clean energy, renewable energy is all clean energy. Okay, and it is a vital goal for achieving this. Okay, goal number 8 is decent work and economic growth. So sometimes you see that work environment is not decent. Can you remember the Rana Plaza incident in our country? So it says that the work is not decent. That means anytime a person can be in danger while working. So the UN has set up some goal for that, and it says that in case of Bangladesh, the garments industry should take some measures like fire alarms or free exit from the factory, so that while if there is a fire, then workers can exit freely. Okay, so this type of measures should be taken by the year 2030. Okay, so what about goal number 9? Goal number 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So this is, related to your discipline. So that means innovation is there. So use of ICTs, taking everything computer related jobs that may reduce actually suppose if the infrastructure is getting more technology, then maybe suppose a sector in Bangladesh is very prone to what is it, the bribe, taking bribe. So suppose if we make some infrastructure such that everything should be done through the computer programming, so a person cannot take bribe without so for the sake of computer programming, because they said that they are doing manually, so they are working hard, and at the same time they are not paying, they are not paid that much, so that's why they take bribe. So if computer programming is involved here, their job will be easy, and then maybe they cannot claim that we are working hard, so give me some fees for that, which we call it as bribe. So in that case, technology can reduce corruption. Okay, so corruption can be reduced by taking measures like technological improvement. Okay, so goal number 10 is reduced inequality. This is something like gender equality. Okay, so reduced all types of equality, including gender. So goal number 5 and goal number 10 is similar. Goal number 5 is only gender, and goal number 10 is all types of inequality. As I mentioned in the last class, that inequality is also a capability deprivation, income inequality. So income inequality, inequality in workplace, inequality in gender distribution, or something like that. So this inequality should be reduced. This is also a goal for sustainable development. And goal number 11 is also very important, because sustainable cities and communities. So it itself is sustainable. So we should make our roads and highways through the cities or communication system in the cities sustainable, so that no traffic jam is there, no other things, and no bad elements are in the city. Okay, making this city sustainable in a sustainable manner. What about goal number 12? Goal number 12 is responsible consumption and production. So it is not hard to understand. In case of Bangladesh, responsible consumption and production is not there. Suppose we fabricate our food by putting some formalin to make the food, I mean formalin as a preservative. So this is harming our consumption. So this is not responsible consumption. We waste polythene bags here and there. Okay, so our production process is not I mean so clean. Our factory doesn't use filter to emit less carbon, or filter to emit less waste material to the river, okay, or pond. So in this process, we can make our production responsible if we are using these measures, okay? Number 13 is climate action. This is very important. Climate action is very important. These are related to the previous one, and you understand these things very clearly, because these are highly discussed material nowadays, okay? Number 14 is life below water. So we are suppose the life below water is a huge habitat, okay? So huge habitat, and maybe if we don't care about the life below water, suppose if we waste, I mean, the countries are discharging huge number of waste in the sea, and we don't care about the life below water. So they are in danger. And nowadays, the food scientists are believing that our next source of food would be food below water. So if we don't take care of this food below water, with the growing population cannot sustain if we only rely on life on land. That means food on land, okay? So our next goal is 15. Goal number 15 is life on land, which is I mean equivalent to life below water. And the last two goals are goal number 16 and 17. So goal number 16 is the general goal, which is peace, justice, and strong institutions, because without strong institutions, a country cannot sustain. Suppose in case of Bangladesh, there is no strong institutions. We are starving. We are, I mean, fighting for strong election institutions, and we see that some, I mean, we see that the election procedure in our country is not that much strong. Okay, so if a political party wins, the other political party say that they are voting rigging is there. Some say that they are stealing votes, and others say that they are decoying votes or something like that. So each and every political parties are blaming each other that our election system is not fair enough, but nobody is doing to make this institution stronger, so that that everybody can rely on the election system. Every time election is there, the winning party says that fair election, the losing party says that not fair election. Okay, so in order to make peace, justice, so strong institutions should be there. The last item or goal is partnership for goals. So this is the coordinating, so all 16 goals, for achieving all 16 goals, partnership between national and international organizations are necessary to make the world free of all capability deprivation. Okay, so this ends the SDG goals, as well as this ends the chapter number 8. Okay, so our chapter ends here. Thank you very much. All right. Now, let me tell you something about, because we have finished our course today from my part. So your part starts. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my part is finished. Then your part is going to start from now on. So what you are going to do is you are first you are going to prepare your assignment. Now chapter 8 has done, the preparation of assignment is done. Chapter 8 should do some PowerPoint from this assignment, but the rest of the chapters should do PowerPoint, and then you can arrange a rehearsal with me how to present PowerPoint. Okay, and maybe it is not compulsory, it is optional. If you want to make rehearsal, then you can show me your PowerPoint, and I can show you where there is a problem, where there is the points are all right or not. Okay, so then we are going for presentation chapter by chapter. Okay, so this presentation will start next Monday, next class. And Monday, the class will start with presentation with chapter 1. Okay, chapter 1 presentation will be there. Okay, chapter 1 on Monday, maybe chapter 2 could be maybe next day, Wednesday. In this process, we'll go forward. Okay. So let me give you some idea about presentation. Presentation is has two parts. One is called direct. Another is indirect. Direct is either offline or online. Monday and Wednesday offline, and Thursday, that means like today online presentation. It is direct. And indirect is making 10 minutes video. 10 minutes videos. Okay, so let me tell you how you do this. For direct, I mean direct one is optional. Why I call it optional? Because direct one, there is 100 students are there, more than 100 students are there. So if we take direct as compulsory, then we can choose 10 minutes video. Okay, so 10 minutes video, 10 minutes video. Okay, so let me tell you how you do this. For direct, I mean direct one is optional. Why I call it optional? Because direct one, there is 100 students are there, more than 100 students are there. So if we take direct as compulsory, then it will take much time for me to finish. Okay, so I make it optional for you. If you participate, you are getting bonus mark. Okay, and presentation is on 10 point. Okay, presentation is on 10 points. Okay, and indirect one is 10-minute video from your made from your chapter, any material from your chapter, any material from your chapter, okay, any material from your chapter. You will make 10 minutes video and upload it in the classroom. Okay, and this is compulsory. Clear? And if I mean, optional is either you take offline presentation by PowerPoint or online presentation like today's online through Zoom. Okay, it is optional, and if you do this, you will get bonus mark, but 10 minutes video is compulsory for all. Okay, for all. And you will get marks out of 10 minutes video and bonus marks for optional. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat what I said?
Okay, so the presentation part has two parts. One is direct and the other one is indirect. So in the direct option, it is optional. It means not everyone has to participate in it. If I'm not wrong, right, sir?
Okay. And it is offline and online. Maybe
yeah. On the working days like Monday and Wednesday, it's offline, and on Thursday, it's gonna be online.
Online, right.
And the indirect one is compulsory for everyone, where every member of a group has to make a 10 minutes video from any material of the chapter that they have been provided to.
Okay.
And all this will be evaluated for 10 marks. And if a group participates in the offline or online direct presentation, they will be given
not group. If a person, I mean, within the group, if a person do direct one, he or she will get bonus marks, which will be added with the real marks got from the 10-minute video. Okay. So suppose you, what's your name? Farzana, right?
Right.
So suppose Farzana has got, from 10 minutes video, Farzana has got 7, okay? And if she do direct presentation and got, suppose 2 from this, so 2 plus 7, 2 plus 7 will be her actual marks out of 10. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this bonus is just compensating the mark you haven't got from the indirect one. Okay, that means 10-minute video. Suppose someone has got only 6 from 10 minutes video, and what is the shortage? 4.
4.
So this 4 can be got if he or she participate in the direct presentation, or either offline or online. Okay, maybe she could get 3 from this direct one, and then total mark will be 6 plus 3 equals 9. But summing direct and indirect should never be more than 10. Okay, got my point? Everything will be out of 10, but shortage will be covered by direct one. This is the process.
So do everyone have to make their own individual 10-minute video?
Yes, this one compulsory. I said that this is compulsory for all, and this is optional. I wrote it down here. You see, the direct one is optional, and indirect one is compulsory. Okay, and compulsory will be evaluated out of 10. And if you get less marks, then you can cover this less mark by participating in the direct method. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Any question for that process?
Sir, is the deadline for direct and indirect presentation on the same day?
There's no deadline because it is running. So I mean, next Monday, our class will be in the next Monday, right? So chapter 1 will start, and subsequently it will run. Okay. So if chapter 1 has finished their job, then immediately chapter 2 will start. So there's no deadline for this. It is running. So what is the date for next Monday? Next Monday is 31st October, right? Or if I'm not
Yes, sir, 31st October.
31st October will be the chapter 1 optional presentation day, and they can finish maybe on 31st October. Then next day will be the chapter 2 will start in this way. So because it is optional, then maybe out of 13 students, maybe 5 or 6 members can go for that, or maybe if they're very much interested, then maybe 13 members can go for that. Okay, so for optional one, means offline, online, direct one, it is the time distribution is, I mean, very simple. 5 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for question answer session. Okay, so these are distributed among yourself. 5 minutes for question, presentation. So you present your material within 5 minutes, and the bell will ring. Someone will ring the bell that your 5 minutes is over. Then question answer session will be done, and question will come from the opposite groups. So if one is presenting, the question will be coming from the group number 2. Okay, so if 2 is presenting, question will come from group number 1. So for now, your group is 8, so you will take a question from the 7, or when chapter 7 is presenting, you will ask question to, chapter 8 will ask question to you.
Sir, when do we have to submit our indirect presentations?
Indirect presentation, there is no submission deadline, I said earlier. So indirect presentation is going on from 30th October. But I said that your PowerPoint presentation can be made rehearsal with me, maybe on Zoom any time you like. Suppose your chapter is chapter 8, right?
Yes, sir.
Chapter 8. So if you are chapter 8, suppose you have prepared your PowerPoint presentation and you believe that your PowerPoint presentation is not standard enough, then you can say that, sir, we are going to take rehearsal with you. So I can arrange a Zoom meeting with you, and you will show me your slides, and I will detect some problems in your, if there is a problem, then I will detect some problems in your slide, as well as I will show you how to make a good presentation. Okay, so this is like a grooming session. Okay, so if you visit my Facebook channel, then you will see some grooming session with some of the students, like forestry department. You can go through the videos and you'll find some grooming session. Okay. So this grooming session is something like preparing yourself how to present, or maybe how to prepare slides, or is there any mistakes, or is there any problems in your slide? I will discuss about that. Okay, clear now?
Yes, sir.
Any question? Any question regarding this this process? And after all direct and indirect process, we'll go for term test 2. Okay, term test 2 will be done after we have finished our direct one, not indirect. Indirect one is maybe the deadline for indirect is before the exam. It means, suppose your exam is November 25. So you can submit your indirect one, that means 10-minute video, just before the exam. Okay. So what is the deadline for indirect video? Oh, I mean, indirect material? Mirzana, what is the deadline for indirect one?
Before that term test number 2.
No, before the exam, before the final exam.
Oh, okay.
You have a lot of time. Before the final exam, you are going to prepare your, I mean, not prepare, upload your 10-minute video in the classroom. Okay.
Sir, is 5 minutes for a whole chapter?
No. I mean, it's not 5 minutes for whole chapter. 5 minutes for a person, individual.
Okay.
So individual, suppose you have 13 members, and suppose direct you give me a list of only 5 person from your group who is going to make a direct presentation. So 5 times 5 means 25 minutes you are getting for presentation, and another 25 minutes you are getting for question answer session. Have you got it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, each and every person should get 5 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for question answer session. And question should come from the opposite group. So you are at chapter 8, so chapter 7 will ask you question.
So about the 10-minute videos, do we need to show our faces in the videos, or we just talk about?
It is up to you. It is up to you. If you believe that showing your face will give you more, I mean, more marks, then do it. Because it is your video, I will judge your video, I mean, based on your presentation, okay? Maybe, I mean, I will see your presentation style, I will see your content, I will see your material inside, I will see how it is related to your exam. If you make a presentation, make videos of very unimportant things, then you will get less marks. If you make videos, very important thing which will come in the exam, then you will get higher marks. So make your video attractive, make your video so that I mean, because you are uploading it in the classroom, then other people are seeing this, okay? So the idea is if other people are seeing this, at the same time, they are also making themselves prepared for the exam, okay? So before the exam, they can watch your video, and by watching your video, they will remember in the exam hall that this video I have seen that, so your exam will be more than enough relative to your expectation. Okay. So prepare your 10 minutes video so that it is very attractive, very fruitful to your exam preparation. Content is very relevant to your exam, and material is worthy to watch. Okay.
Sir, if the number of members in from one group is more than 5, how do you split the time slot?
No. This is very easy. Whatever the maybe the number, you will get 5 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for question and answer session. It is not that 5 or 4 or 3. No. Each member will get, if you are in this stage, you are getting 5 minutes for talk and 5 minutes for question answer. That's it. Simple.
So it is possible for a group to end the whole session for a specific group that takes 2 or more than 2 days.
Maybe whatever maybe because by the way, thank you very much for the question. Have your department has your department set the exam date?
Yes, sir. At the beginning of January.
At the beginning of January. So we have a lot of time now because we are in October, late October, and November, December. We have a lot of time. So if we start maybe on 31st October with chapter number 1, maybe chapter number 1, if chapter number 1 cannot finish on that day, maybe next day chapter number 1 will, maybe remaining person of the chapter number 1 will do on the Wednesday. That means maybe 2nd or 3rd November, 2nd November, and then consequently it is going on. And I hope that before January we'll finish in this way. And indirect one is there's no deadline. Deadline is actually the exam date, but you can do it yourself. There's no restrictions on you. You can do whenever you like. Okay, you can do it today, maybe after this session.
Sir, if we divide the topics of a chapter among the group members, and suppose my the other mate gets the more interesting topics than me, so how do you differentiate us?
No, I said that the exam, the presentation should be exam related. Okay, so there are many things I discussed in the class that which will never come in the exam. So you have to identify this. So in that case, if repetition is there, it can be, you can repeat some important material from this. Okay. So this will help you because suppose chapter number 1 has elasticity, and there is a problem in the elasticity which came in your term test 1. So this problem, you can present this problem, and suppose other student can say that I can also present. So if you and other member present on the same topic, that means students who are audience, they get this benefit of this repetition. Okay, so repetition is allowed. It will benefit you for exam preparation. So my message is, don't go for unimportant thing for presentation. Okay, so this is my message. So if you go for too much unimportant things as your presentation, then your exam preparation will hamper. So try to select material which will come in the exam, which you will face in the exam. That means the goal of our presentation, either direct or indirect, is to prepare yourself for the exam so that in the exam you are done with more than A, either A minus, A plus, or A. I hope that
Sure.
all of you are getting not less than A minus.
Sir,
If you
I was
follow this-
wondering if all the members of a single group can decide not to take part in the direct presentation.
No
Is
problem.
that possible?
Yeah, possible, no
Okay.
problem. Because it is optional and you are getting bonus marks, okay? So bonus mark can make you interested in taking part of direct presentation. Suppose your video is not enough, standard enough, so you get only 5 marks out of 10. So what do? You need to make the gap. You need to make up the gap. So in that case, I suppose that it will never happen that a whole group should go without direct presentation. Maybe at least two person should stand up and say that I can do it. Not 0, I guess.
Sir, I have another question.
Yes.
Suppose 5 members from my group decide to give the presentation. So
Okay.
do we divide the entire chapter into 5 topics, or?
I have already answered this question because it is not that you are going to present all the chapters. You just first you take the assignment and convert this assignment into PowerPoint presentation, not whole chapter.
Important topic.
Important topic should be taken. Okay, important topics so that you can prepare yourself for the exam, and based on the importance you are getting marks. Okay, so if you take a very important topic which you see in the exam, then you are getting higher marks. If you take the less important question to present directly, then you are getting less marks.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Question?
Sir,
Yes.
I have another question.
Yes.
Sir, for the indirect presentation, is it necessary to cover all the topic of my chapter?
I have already answered this. You are getting only 5 minutes, so how can you cover all the chapter, all the topics?
Sir, indirect 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right. So, same thing, importance.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Importance and repetition is possible, but you can avoid repetition because in 10 minutes video, because it is uploaded, so if repetition is there, it doesn't look good to make repetition. So repetition is not banned, but you should avoid this. Okay, for indirect presentation. For direct presentation, repetition is possible. Understood?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Direct, you can repeat. That means someone can say that I'm going to present this topic, and other can do it in direct presentation. But indirect presentation, you must avoid repetition because it is going to be uploaded in the classroom, so everybody can see it. So if you repeat, then someone will say that, oh, boring, he is repeating the other's video. Okay. So avoid repetition in indirect one, and you can repeat topic in the direct one.
130 minutes, isn't it too much? One chapter.
130 minutes.
Like every group has 12 or 13 members.
Okay, that's why I said that it is optional. Okay. And this class will run until you get the PLR.
I think, sir, he questioned about the direct presentation that we have every group has at least 12 or 13 members. So the
Okay.
total amount of time is 130 minutes, and it's 130 minute is very big amount time to avoid repetition for only one chapter. I think he made this point.
No, I mean repetition. I mean. Avoid repetition for direct one or indirect one?
For indirect.
For 10 minutes video?
Yes, sir.
For indirect one, sir.
So it is possible because if you want to make 10 minutes video, you can illustrate a topic. If you are a very good presenter, you can illustrate topic in such a manner that it looks not repeating, but at the same time it adds something. It is possible.
Well, is it possible for a chapter to have 13 different?
Okay. By the way, 10 minutes is not that you are maintaining 10 minutes whole. Okay, I said maximum 10 minutes. It's sorry that I didn't mention it. Maximum 10 minutes. 10 minutes video is not that. I mean, 10 minutes is I mean, minimum. It is maximum. So you can. I mean, but minimum means. Maximum means it is not that you just finish within 2 minutes. Okay. You take a substantial time, but maximum 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is maximum. So 130, if you calculate 130, it is not right one, because I mean, if I say that it is maximum 10 minutes, then someone can say that it is 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, or something like that. So thank you for making it clear that it is not minimum 10 minutes, it is maximum 10 minutes.
So some of the chapters even don't have 13 points. So if I want to differentiate and distribute 13 important topics to my group members, is it really possible?
That's why I say that repetition is not banned in indirect one. Repetition could be there, but you make yourself distinguish so that apparently it is not repeated. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I didn't ban repetition in indirect one. You can do repetition, but make in such a manner that your video is different from other video, although the subject matter is the same. That is what I have pointed out. All right. So if you any more question regarding this? So I hope chapter 1 will start on 31st with their presentation. And if you want to do rehearsal with me, you can place your PowerPoint with me on Zoom, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. So anybody in chapter 1 here?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
prepare your PowerPoint as soon as possible, and you can do Zoom meeting with me maybe tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow or maybe on Sunday. Show me your PowerPoint, and then you start on 31st October. You can do presentation either offline or online. If online is offline is not possible for you, or if you believe that we are going for online, then you can do online. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So thank you very much for being here today. I'm going to close this class for today. All right. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.